What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here helping you take your game to the next level. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be going over the top 5 running plays in Madden 18 to dominate on the ground. I'm not going to cover any gadget plays like wide receiver quick. I'm going to stick just to like standard type run plays in this video. Now, if this is your first time checking out one of my videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. Make sure to hit the bell icon to join the notification squad and never miss an upload. So let's get it started with number 5. It is going to be the halfback inside out of the near formation in the West Coast playbook. This is in a couple other playbooks, I believe, but the most popular playbook is the West Coast playbook. And I got this on the list because to me this is like my favorite short yardage run in the game this year. It's very hard to stop this run for like less than 3 to 5 yards. It's a very good run to go to in the red zone. It's very good to go to on like those third and shorts, fourth and shorts when you just need a few yards. It's just really hard to stop this run, especially if you use motion like you see here, motion the wide receiver. It's very hard to stop this run for less than 3 to 5 yards, and it's great and crucial for those short yardage situations. At number 4, the halfback zone out of the pistol bunch tight end. This is in the Cardinals playbook. I also believe it is in the Saints playbook. Very good run. I like to flip it to the left to run behind the blockers, the wide receivers out there blocking. If you throw a tight end out there, it becomes even better blocking. But you'll see that this run is typically going to get you in a lot of open space. And then from there, once you get a one-on-one, you want to use the juke move or the spin move to your advantage to try to make that defender miss in space and take it to the house. Here you see kind of took it more up the middle there. You just kind of want to read how the block's set up. This is for sure one of the best runs in the game this year. Very consistent, and this formation has some nice passes out of it as well. So it's really hard to stop the run and the pass out of this formation if you scheme with it well. But the halfback zone is by far the best run in this formation. As you see there in open space, make a guy miss and you can really get some good yardage with this run play. Number 3, none other than the halfback pitch. This is going to be the longest run I touch on in this video because the pitch is so deadly this year, and there's a few that I want to touch on. Obviously, this one you're seeing right here is the single back tight slots pitch, which is the most famous pitch play this year. Basically, this formation, it's such a good passing formation, but this pitch play really makes it tough to defend because you're thinking pass first when you know your opponent's going to be thinking pass first when you come out in this formation. But this pitch is just absolutely deadly, especially if you use motion with it. Using motion with it makes it even better. It just gives you extra blocking, and it really you're going to get a lot of one-on-one situations where you can use a juke move to your advantage and just really take it to the house. As you see here in this gameplay video, this is probably, I'm not going to say my favorite run, but it's definitely obviously in the top 3 because I have it at number 3, but it's probably the run I've had the most success with this year. Here you're going to see the I-form toss. I broke this down not too long ago. Another toss I like to flip to the left side. This is the I-form slot formation. It's in the Saints playbook. It's in probably about half the playbooks in the game. It's in a good bit of playbooks, so just check yours to see if it's in there, but I know for sure that it's in the Saints playbook. And just like the halfback zone play that we touched on a little bit ago, I like to flip this to the left and run it to the side of the blockers. Sometimes I'll take it to the right if it's wide open, but typically I'm going to take it to the left. Here is another great toss, the single back trio toss, probably the most slept on toss in the game this year. Again, I like to flip this one to the left and run behind the blockers. Sometimes I'll take it right if it's open, but typically I take it left. The single back trio toss is probably the most slept on and just underutilized toss in the game. It's definitely in the Bills playbook. It is in the run heavy playbook, which is another slept on playbook in general. And it's probably in a couple other playbooks, but those are the only 2 that I know offhand for sure. But this toss, as you can see, consistently going to get you 5+ yards. It's going to get you 10+ yards quite often as well. Just these pitch plays in general, they're really overpowered this year. There's more than one good one. Most people just know about the single back tight slots one, but I guarantee you, as you can see, there's so many good ones. And the last toss play I want to touch on is the single back doubles north toss. This is also in the West Coast playbook, probably the hottest playbook at the moment because of the runs and passing plays that are just exclusive to that playbook. With this toss, it's pretty much almost identical to the single back tight slots toss, but it's in a single back doubles look. I like to motion the wide receiver with this toss. I just find that motioning the wide receiver with this toss gives you way better blocking than just running it standard. So usually when I do run this toss, I will always motion the wide receiver, and I typically will take this toss left almost every time. But this is definitely another toss that if you're in the West Coast playbook, you definitely want to have this one in your arsenal. You can make some really big plays with this one. Number 2, the Halfback Stretch is back. It was popular last year. It's back again this year. The most notable one is the single back deuce close stretch. This is in a ton of playbooks. This is in at least half the playbooks in the game, so just check your playbook to see if you have it. I know for sure it's like in the Atlanta playbook, it's in the Seahawks playbook. Those are 2 popular playbooks, but the Browns playbook, the Eagles playbook, I believe it's in the Packers playbook. It's in a ton of playbooks. You can motion that tight end to give you a little bit of extra blocking, and usually with the stretch this year, more times than not, you're going to want to kind of cut it back up the middle. Sometimes you'll take it outside like right here. It just depends on how the blocking sets up. You really need to be able to read blocking very well with the stretch, but a lot of times you're going to want to take it up the middle, because there's just going to be huge lanes that open up. Like as you can see here, when you see that gap open up, you just want to shoot it right up the middle, because a lot of times the defense over pursues on the toss. But in instances where they do not, you definitely want to take it outside here. You can see running it to the right, we're motioning the tight end over, and we're going to take it to the outside there because the blocking's set up that way for us. So it's a great run because you could take it up the middle or outside. It's a very versatile run. Here's another great toss. It is out of the single back, I forget the name of this formation. It's like single back wing tight, I believe it's called. This is in a lot of playbooks as well, and this is this could arguably be the best stretch play in the game. It's just very hard to hit this one in the backfield. Again, you could take it to the outside, you could take it up the middle when the lane is there, like you see right here. You just really have to be good with reading the running lanes when you're running a stretch. But yeah, this is for sure. I know it's in the Eagles playbook because I've been messing around with the Eagles playbook lately, but this is definitely in like at least half the playbooks in the game. The single back wing tight, definitely check it out. Number 1, undisputable best run in the game, the halfback wham. This should be no surprise to anybody. This is also out of single back deuce close. Probably the toughest run to stop in the game, especially when you consider the fact that this formation has that deadly stretch that we just went over as well. It's a really good 1-2 punch. Again, this is in half of the playbooks in the game. Philly, Cleveland, Atlanta, Seattle, Miami, the list goes on and on. Green Bay. It's just single back deuce closes in at least like 20 playbooks, and I believe the wham is in every deuce close. I don't think there's any deuce close in the game that doesn't have the wham in the playbook. So this is probably in your playbook if you're using whichever playbook you're using for the most part, and if not, you can definitely get this in a custom. But as you can see, just a solid run. This isn't necessarily the biggest home run hitter. I mean, you're going to get some home run hits with this run, but it's a very hard run to stop for less than 5 yards. It's something that you could just ground and pound and just really churn out a lot of yards and make it tough for your opponent to try to stop. So that is the top 5 best runs in Madden 18. Definitely utilize them, get them in your playbooks if you use a custom playbook, or find a playbook that has the majority of these runs. There are a few playbooks in the game that have a good bit of these in there. Just very tough to stop, and if you want to really rush for 100+ yards a game, these are the runs you need to be looking at. So if you guys enjoyed this video, as always, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.